Hi, welcome to personal development. This part is all about you growing, evolving, and managing things outside of homeopathic practice, but that inevitably will help you in your practice. For me, personal development has been a big part of my life for the past 15 years, but especially when we hit COVID. When we hit COVID, I started a completely new business and left the business that I was in. My marriage was having troubles. I had a child that turned into a teenager during that time. My grandmother died and my best friend. And I was really, really burnt out. And the only thing I felt like I could do was to grow and work on my personal development so that I could sort these things out. And so I spend a lot of hours doing it a week. I'm not perfect at it. Certainly have my relapses, and I'm going to enjoy doing these videos because it will bring to life everything that I've learned over the past 15 years again for me as well. The good thing about personal development is that you never go back to base one again. It's like any kind of muscle. So when you go to the gym, you work out and you get muscles. When you stop working out, you lose the muscles, but you have what's called muscle memory. And it's the same with personal development. So what I've found is that there's not such a thing as a balanced life, in that life itself changes all the time. Life is like an ocean. Sometimes it's still and flat and beautiful, and sometimes it's massive big waves that are trying to drown you. It's just And so what personal development helps you with is that when those big waves are smashing you about, you can keep your head above water. A balanced life is something, to me, where all the areas of your life that you want to have in there and to have time for, you get to have time for. And personal development helps you do that, because what you do is you look at yourself, you look at your life, you look at your behaviors, you look at the things you're doing and what you can change and what really matters to you. So for me, I get to have all those aspects in my life. I'm quite busy, but I work hard at finding the time for all those things that are really important to me, so that I can have that balanced life. I can have time for my kids. I can have time for dancing. I can have time for work. And I can have time for my husband. A balanced life is not just given to you on a platter. It takes work and discipline and planning, but it can be done. So there's two ways that we grow, two ways that we're inspired to grow, put it that way. There's life events that are usually quite painful, to the point where we need to change or do something about it because the discomfort is so great. Those are called Kensho events. And then there's the steady accumulation of experience and wisdom and changing of life and habits and things like that. And that's called Satori. It's definitely the less painful way to grow, but we tend to go for the Kensho way of changing our lives. Something massive happens and rips our world apart, and we have to do something about it to be able to survive that. So that's where our personal growth comes in. Rumi said, "You who can't take a good rub, how will you become a polished gem?" I really like that. So the definition of personal development from Wikipedia is: self-improvement or personal development consists of activities that develop a person's capabilities and potential, build human capital, facilitate employability, enhance quality of life, and facilitates the realization of dreams and aspirations. It's a quote from Wikipedia. Part of personal development is self-care. Self-care is two words that don't really define much. For me, what I understand self-care to be is taking care of your self-worth, which is actually really hard. It's hard to find self-worth. It sounds great, like, yes, build your self-worth and things like that. But actually, most people can't stand in front of the mirror and say they love themselves into the mirror. It is, to me, doing the things that fill your cup up and keeping it from getting empty. It's more than just having a warm bath and a walk and making sure you're eating right and things like that. Sometimes it's setting really hard boundaries And sometimes it's making really hard decisions to let go of people that may not be good for you anymore. It might be having those really tough conversations that you don't want to have. You don't want to have the conflict. That's all self-care, in my opinion. So these videos are just going to be, the videos I do will be what I've learned over those past 15 years. Take what you like and leave the rest. Hopefully you'll find something that helps you as well. I've found that the more personal development I do, the better a homeopath I am as well. You know, the better my life is. And if I fall back or get busy and then I stop doing so much personal development, my life always just starts going like this. So the first thing I'd like you to do is go to the link down in this video and click on it and do the quiz by Mindvalley. So the URL is life.mindvalley.com. It'll take you about 20 minutes to do the assessment. And what this quiz will do will show you where you feel you're doing well and strongly in parts of your life and where you feel like you need to work on. Knowledge is power, and the more knowledge we have about ourselves, the more empowered we are, even if it's not stuff that we're not too happy with, because actually all it means is that we can work on those things. So do this quiz, have a look, see what you think. You might get surprised, and we'll just go from there.